Hey, this is Adam from Counting Crows, and you are on The Rock Office.
And you're watching The Rock Office.
Hey everyone out there, you've reached The Rock Office. It's time to clock in and rock out. I'm your host, Bill Smith.
And I'm Kevin Davis here again with you.
Awesome, and we have a great episode we're very excited to be bringing to you today. Hands down, one of my favorite bands of all time, favorite singer, songwriter of all time, Mr. Adam Duritz of Counting Crows. And he's going to be Skyping in here momentarily. We're very excited to be bringing you this interview because his music has meant so much to me personally, as many, like Kevin and many of our guests that we've had on the show have also commented about the legacy and the influence that this band and this man in particular has had on them, and just released their...
got some new music out. Yeah.
Yes, just released their newest album, Somewhere Under Wonderland, just several weeks ago. It's fresh, hot off the presses. They sent it to us a couple months ago that we got to write up on our blog and have the review is very well received. We thank you for that. And the album is fantastic. It, kind of harkens back to maybe a mixture of August and Everything After and This Desert Life for fans of Counting Crows. It's great. It's a solid album all the way through.
Very
and
solid.
I'm not saying that because I'm biased or anything. It truly is. And we're going to be bringing you that interview very, very shortly.
Absolutely. So, kick back, relax, grab a cold one, and check out our Adam Duritz interview. We're going to get him on the line here in just a second. We'll be right back.
All right, we are here Skyping live with Adam Duritz. Mr. Duritz, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, man, how you doing?
All right, right off the bat, I know your newest album, Somewhere Under Wonderland, was just released. We love it. It's fantastic. Maybe can you tell a little bit about the recording process and who produced it, some of the people that you had a chance to work with on it?
We did it with Brian Deck,
Okay.
who mixed Underwater Sunshine and who also produced Sunday Mornings record of Saturday Nights and Sunday Mornings.
Oh, okay.
He's done a lot of sort of indie acoustic music, like Fruit Bats, all the Iron and Wine records, early Modest Mouse records, like From the Moon and Antarctica on, I think.
Okay. One question I wanted to ask you is, are you having any plans or any thoughts on releasing like a deluxe remastered edition for Recovering the Satellites or This Desert Life in a similar fashion how you guys did for August and Everything After? Because I love both of those records, and I think that would be such a cool thing to have those albums in that kind of a treatment. Are there any plans for that in the future?
I'd like to do something for Satellites for sure. We've been talking about it a lot recently because we have a lot of stuff for Satellite. We could put a real cool deluxe package together. I mean, the thing we did with Satellites was we filmed a lot of stuff. We had these. We filmed the first show of the tour at the Ford Amphitheater, and we also we used that film to make the video for Angels of the Silences. And it was filmed by, I think his name's Josh Taft. He's the guy who did all of the early Pearl Jam videos. Like
cool.
Live, where he's climbing on the speakers.
Right, right.
So it's a really cool looking video, and we have a film of the whole concert that way. Then we also had the Storytellers show, which was, the record's been out, but not with the full, all the talking, and the film's never been out except for when it was on TV. And then there's the Live at the 10 Spot concert, the live show we played in New York for MTV. So those are 3 concerts. And then when we were making the record, we had this pair of directors, this couple who was starting out as directors, and they were there filming a lot of stuff for like a EPK we made. But it was Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Ferris back before, they had done anything else. I've been trying to find that too, because I think that might be a really cool film to have, it seems worth looking for me. So we've been looking into that because, it's rare that you have 4 different like film, documents of a time. So that seems like that'd be a really cool package to me.
Yeah, totally. That'd be awesome. I would love to see something like that personally. Now, I'm just guessing, but I have to imagine that there's a lot of unreleased Counting Crows songs floating around out there. And is there any kind of consideration or thought about some kind of like a B-side or like an unreleased album, an album of unreleased songs or a collection like that being put together that you guys might be giving to the fans in the next little bit here? Any thoughts to that?
We don't really have a ton of unreleased material. I'm not really big for writing a million songs for a record. I just never have. I mean, there's been things left off each record. But a lot of them got used. We'd also hide them. We'd make hidden tracks, like Kid Things is hidden at the end of Desert Life. What do you call it? Taxi. There's not a lot. There's a bunch of like covers we did acoustically years ago, like when we were doing Hard Candy. But a lot of that's duplicated by stuff we did on the when we did Underwater Sunshine. There's a few takes of songs from. There's nothing I think from August really. I don't know if there's one song we left off August, although I wouldn't know where to find it. And there's 2 or 3 we left off of Satellites. But Chelsea's been out there, and I've been using Chelsea in this play anyways. They're kind of used other places now. I tend to like know what I want to record for a record. So either I don't think a song's good enough, or sometimes things get left off. The only things I can really think of that are really great that got left off records are Chelsea and Good Luck, which got left off of Satellites. Baby, I'm a Big Star Now, which got left off of Desert Life. That was just stupid.
Well, why'd you do that?
Well, I did that for John Dahl came to us and asked us if we'd record a song for Rounders. And we went to do it. We went to see the movie. It was way before the movie came out. And which then, by the way, sparked a 6 or 8 year poker game that ran all times of the day or night during recording, on the bus. When we were touring, it just ran forever. But aside that point, I wrote that song for it, and John Dahl really loved it, and we recorded it, and it was great. And I liked it so much, I was like, there's no way I'm just giving this to a movie. And I said to them, you can have it for the film. I'm not even charging much for it at all. But you can't have it for the soundtrack. I want it for our record. It's just good. And then they're like, okay. They wanted the song for the movie, so they gave in on that. As a result, though, they never released a soundtrack. And then when I was sequencing the record, I could not find a good place for it. And I realized I had to leave it off. I mean, I'm willing to leave off a song that's one of my favorite songs if it's not right for the record. And so I left Baby I'm a Big Star off the record. And as a result, it's nowhere. Like, there is nowhere you can find that fucking song except watching the movie. There's no other place to hear it, which is...
All right, I heard a rumor a couple years ago that you had a solo album in the works, and I was wondering if you are still planning on releasing that, or if there was any truth or validity to that, that rumor.
Oh, that. Oh, no.
Oh, it got made?
Yeah, that got made. That was an accidental. I made it on my accident.
Oh, it was an accident?
Well, it was the week before Valentine's. It was literally 1 week before Valentine's Day. I woke up and thought to myself, okay, it's a week before Valentine's Day. My girlfriend and I had just split up a few months before that. And I was thinking, a week, it just seemed like shit. And then I thought, well, I'm going to record a song. And I went and recorded that Steve Earle song. I learned how to play it the Valentine's Day. And I recorded it and I put it up on SoundCloud and Twitter and Facebook. And then I thought, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a song a day, every day this week. I'm just going to record songs. I'm going to learn some song that seems like pertinent to the thing at hand, and I'll record it and I'll put it up on the web, so I don't sit around moping for a week, And so I did a song a day. I'm not sure what I think the order is. Valentine's Day by Steve Earle, Sweet Carolina by Ryan Adams, Rainbow Sleeves, the Tom Waits song. But Ricky Lee Jones is the one who recorded it. You Might Think by the Cars, Dark End of the Street, the Dan Penn, Chips Moment song, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right by Dylan, and On the Sunny Side of the Street. And I did them one a day. I didn't sleep for a fucking week because I forgot I can barely play piano. And so the ability to like learn a song every day and then play it and then record it. I mean, I'm just recording into my iPhone. Although it might have been my computer then, but I'm just literally pushing this record button and there's nothing else on it. It's just me at one of the pianos in here and just singing over. It might have even been my iPhone. But when I was done at the end of the week, someone said, wow, you made a record. You should call it and I said, oh, funny. I think I'll call it All My Bloody Valentines. And like 15 minutes later, someone put up a mocked up cover with some photo they found of me, and they did the fonts themselves. And I said, oh, you know what? Let's have a contest. Everybody come up with covers. I'll pick the best cover, and we'll print vinyl of the record and send them to everyone who took part in the contest. So we did that, and I actually had 2 winners. And I don't know where the other one is. They're both around here somewhere. There were 2 winners, and we printed up a couple thousand vinyls and just gave them away, sent them up to all our fans. All the people that took place took part in the contest, free.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, no, I've never had any desire to make a solo album. So it's no response to them. That was a complete accident, and that's about as much of a solo album as I'll ever make, probably.
Okay, that's such a cool tune, cool idea. Let me ask you, now that August and everything after has been out for over 2 decades, can you look back now and maybe comment on the legacy and what that album has not only meant to you but to the band and your career?
Same as they always were. I mean, I love the songs on that record. It's the one record where I don't really love all my performances, really, because I think I got a lot better at some of those songs later. I felt like some of them I got better at singing. We were also very young and just learning how to be a band right then. I think we had great material. I'm not sure all of it is as good as it would later become. It's the only record I really feel that way about. I still love it. I mean, although it's the one I don't listen to because of that. I think I just don't. I can listen to any of the other records. I love every performance on all of them. Every song is like, even if we play those songs differently now, I love those performances of it. August is the one where I feel like there's a little bit more of a production sheen on it. It's a little safer.
Now, you have a long list of infamous characters in your songs, such as Anna, Maria, Elizabeth, Amy, Mr. Jones, obviously. Are these real people? I know Mr. Jones is. Are these real people? And if so, do you keep in touch with them? And, will they make any further appearances in future songs?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Anna lives down in Australia. She's from Australia. I met her when I was backpacking around Europe, around the same time I wrote it. So I see her whenever we're down there. I'm still really good friends with all those people that I was running around Europe with when I was a kid. Anna's that. Maria's a conglomeration of people. But Elizabeth, I don't see her very much, but I saw her last year. She came to a show. Amy, Amelia, they're all real people. So, I see them when I see them still. Some of them I'm closer to than others. The girl in Amy Hit the Atmosphere just had a baby. I got a Facebook note from her last night. Living in Montana, and she had a baby. They're all people that I was friends with.
Cool. Now, one thing that we like to ask all of our guests on the Rock Office, because it's something that means so much to us, is the physical music versus digital music debate. And we like to ask our guests, what is their preference, and do they feel that, downloading or digital music has improved the music industry or worsened it, or do they have any other kind of opinions or thoughts on the subject? So I would just like to ask you, what is your preference? Do you prefer still buying LPs and CDs, or are you kind of switched over to the digital revolution now? What are your thoughts on that?
Can you see that?
Nice.
Those are records and CDs more than books. I love CDs. I also love digital. It's great to have physical records, but You know, the thing about physical records is it made it nearly impossible for independent bands to exist because you had to press all that shit up, and it was the big risk. You get a digital world, and all of a sudden, a band can like survive and thrive without a major label behind them. It used to be like you got maybe a record, or that's all you could make on your own. It's too expensive, you know, and like you couldn't distribute it because distribution was so shitty and hard. Unless you got picked up by somebody, that's about it, you know. Now, bands can like survive, thrive. They can make 4 or 5, you know. Mean Creek, one of the best bands I've ever seen. You know, the band from Boston, they'd get record of the year every year up there. Every time they put out a record for 4 or 5 shit. They've made 4 or 5 records now. Never been picked up by anybody. They're spectacular records. That wouldn't have been possible with physical goods. I mean, I love holding an LP, you know, and I love seeing CDs on a shelf. But I also like the fact that my friends' bands and the bands of people I don't know can develop. I mean, great music gets made nowadays because there aren't the physical goods. Because without that, it would be impossible for bands to like repeatedly make records. It's just too hard to distribute, too hard to sell it, too hard to record it. You know, all of it. It's hard for me to, I mean, I can look very nostalgically and miss all those things because I do. I miss everything from the large artwork on LPs to everyone buying CDs and getting whole records. But I love that there's Bandcamp. I love that there's things like that where bands can make records. I can just go, I see a band I like them, I can go right home and find their record. I can listen to it that night. I can pay for it, or sometimes it's whatever price you want. So someone who doesn't want to pay can do that too. And it still disseminates the band's music and makes it possible for them to maybe come to your town and play a show. So I find it really hard to like, as much as I love all those things, and I do, I mean, my house is all about shelves, really. But as much as I love that stuff, I think I love the music more. So, you know, I also miss the days when we made shitloads of money selling records. But I can't like deny how great it is. The Outlaw Roadshow couldn't exist back then. Like, I had 30, 40 people living at my house during CMJ, and we had 30 or 40 bands playing it, you know, at Bowery Electric. And that's only possible because all that music can be spread digitally, and, you know, like Ryan Smashing Life can have digital files and put up things for songs. And there's so much great music nowadays. It's not hard to find great music. It might not be on the radio, and so people make the mistake of thinking it doesn't exist. But there's a shitload of great music out there. Also, it allows for blogs. It allows for video blogs. All this stuff. And it allows for you guys to not just interview me, but also to put up any music you want from any band. That's not possible without the digital stuff. And I think all that stuff's really cool because before we just had Spin and Rolling Stone.
Right. That's such a great response. I guess in a similar way, I feel the same as you do. Although I do miss the experience of going to record stores because that was such a huge part of my childhood. Let me ask real quick. I won't take up too much of your time. I know you're busy. Where can people go on the web to find out tour dates, get your product? What are your social media outlets? Can you give us a couple places people can go and check out?
Counting Crows Twitter, Counting Crows Facebook, countingcrows.com. We took it down for a little bit to work on it, and we just put it back up, so it's got all the tour information and everything else. I started vining lately, just as Vine satisfies my apparent need, which I was not aware of, to be completely fucking insane. I mean, I knew it the first time I made one. It's like you got 6 seconds. It just calls to insanity. What else would you want to do in 6 seconds except for be out of your fucking mind? And I just love making these little short films of me being a nutcase.
That's awesome. Mr. Duritz, I personally want to thank you for not only being on our show, but for the legacy of music and being a huge part of the soundtrack of my life. Counting Crows is, I go back and forth between the band and Counting Crows is my favorite bands. And I just, your music has meant not only so much to me, but to millions of other people. So thank you for what you've done and you put out there and you share with the world. And thank you also for the new album, Somewhere Under Wonderland, which is, people can go to stores or download that now. Thank you for being on the show. We're looking to see you next time you come to Cleveland, and hopefully we can do this again and get you on camera.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Once again, thank you, and we will be in touch.
All right. Take care, man. See y'all later.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Duritz of Counting Crows. We will be right back. All right, that was it. That was our interview. Adam Duritz, Counting Crows, one of my musical heroes. Counting Crows, hands down, one of my all-time favorite bands.
Yeah, what a cool guy, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, and you know what made me feel really special about that is a lot of the interviews he's been doing, he seems kind of short, maybe a little bit with his answers, but maybe it's me, but I think he liked us. I got the feeling that he enjoyed speaking with us, and
yeah, I think we connected, so to speak.
Yeah, and
that's cool.
Hopefully when they come to Cleveland next time, we'll get to meet him in person, bring you a little something in person.
Be good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but check out their new album, Somewhere Under Wonderland. It's great. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a longtime Counting Crows fan or a fan of anything that those guys have done. Also, we want to thank our great fan base for helping our numbers lately just skyrocket. We literally have had like a 65,000% increase in our numbers as of late, and we thank you. That's numbers exaggerated. Don't hold me to that exactly, but we just thank you guys for sharing. You like what we do, and you like the episodes. You're liking the articles. Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate it. We do what we do because you guys, are digging what it is that we are presenting to you, and we thank you for that. And if you want to check us out on the web, probably the first and foremost place to go is therockoffice.com. Kevin, where else can people find us?
You can go and check out our Facebook page. We're posting on that all the time. That's kind of a daily thing. That's at facebook.com/rockoffice. Vanna White over here. And check us out on Twitter, man. We hit that Twitter quite a bit. That's at @the_rock_office. And we've got a number of others, but most of them are linkable off of one of those three. Those are probably your most common, most seen, and we've been having some real good retweets by some of the artists that we've been working with. We just put out a review for Kevin Bacon Brother. Well, for the Bacon Brothers,
featuring Kevin Bacon.
Well, yeah, featuring Kevin and Michael. But they retweeted that, and that was so cool. And they've been real great with getting the word out on that.
Michael Sweet from Striper.
Michael Sweet,
Striper.
Striper.
Did a review of his album recently. They've been sharing it, and
so
showing the love.
Yeah, so we just ask that you guys do the same thing if you like what we're putting out there, and we can't thank you enough for that. Like you said, our numbers are flying high, and we would like to see that keep going up, and we can't do that without you guys, and that's very important.
Yeah. But as always, we want to thank you guys. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on iTunes Podcast, rockoffice.com once again. Make sure you check out some of our merchandise, some cool TRO t-shirts.
Yeah.
You'll be supporting not only us, but you'll be looking cool at the same time. It's a 2-for-1. So
Twofer.
Yeah. But as always, make sure you support your local independent record stores by buying the physical copies of your favorite music instead of the digital download. We'll see you next time on The Rock Office. Take care and God bless.